What's up guys, I hope you're having a great weekend. My name is Michael and in this video we're talking about the two most talked about crypto gaming projects out there right now. Chumbi Valley and Solchicks, one of them has been in the news for a lot of positives. They've been having win after win after win, and the other one kind of has been losing every single day a little bit more. They've been making mistake after mistake, so we're going to compare the both of them and see what one of them needs to do to continue the rise up and what one of them needs to do to kind of prevent a total flop from happening. As you can see, the whole crypto gaming market has been recovering a little bit again. Bitcoin was down, the whole market was down, and of course most projects they follow afterwards. So Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up, Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. There's still a lot of Bitcoin dominance going on, but as you can see, there's a bit of recovery going on here. The last 24 hours, most of the projects have been in the green. And as well, the biggest projects out there with a larger market cap, they've still been going up quite a lot. For Decentraland, going up almost 7% in 24 hours is a very positive sign, of course, for the crypto market again. But as you see, the last 7 days, a lot of them were a little bit in a downward trend. That's they're kind of getting out of that a little bit again now. So there's a lot of projects that we can talk about, a lot of projects that we will talk about. But at least for today, here you can see Falcon Forge that's been doing very well. Again, it hit $10 after it plummeted down from 43, and now it's kind of recovering, going back up a little bit. But for today, we've got two projects that we want to talk about mainly. One of them being, as I said, Soulchicks, which is somewhere here in the list here. That we have Soulchicks here. As you can see, 31% decrease over the last 7 days, and it has recovered a little bit again. It is trying to they're trying to do everything they can to not really fall below the IEO price and just let the project bleed out. And then after that, we will have Chumbi Valley. We will put both of them next together and see what's been happening, why one of them is doing so well and why one of them isn't. As you can see here, Soulchicks, there's been a lot of things happening. Yesterday, no, not yesterday, 2 days ago, on the 13th, they released a lot of tokens again. So the circulating supply of the amount of tokens went up like crazy. What happened with the chart? It plummeted back down. Why? Is because everybody wanted to sell their tokens, obviously. Now, what they've done to try and recover this is they came up with a staking event. They tried to recover things with a staking event, which was a total disaster. If we look at the Discord channel, they've announced a couple of things. Here you see Chumbi Valley. We'll get into that in a second. But Soulchicks, they tried to come up with a way of recovering the downward trend with a staking system where you couldn't even get an APR, you couldn't even get an APY, you didn't get any rewards for participating in the staking. The only thing that you were able to get was a small little prize if you won, if you were lucky. Obviously that didn't work out. Nobody really participated, nobody really won anything. So here you can see, if you hold your chicks, campaign is live, so you can hold your chicks, you can stake it for 60 days. So you have to stake it for 2 months. What did you gain from doing that? You gained 10 soul, or the major prize at least, so only one person could win. So you could win 10 soul. Right now, Solana price, you can see here, $146. So you were able to win like $1,400 for staking 60 days if you won. Then you have a 5 wave 1. So the first wave, the first release of the NFTs, will be giving away 100 times $500 worth of chick tokens and 100 weapon NFTs. That's what you were able to win. If we then look at the chart, what happened? Here you can see this was on the 13th. This is where the token release came. It was going down a little bit again before that. Why? Is because, of course, everybody wanted to get rid of the tokens before the fasting release came, because they already knew that it was going to plummet back down. Also, they announced that they weren't going to do the breeding of the NFT mint on the Binance NFT marketplace. They canceled that. It was supposed to happen on the 11th, and they end up not doing it. They said because of the market that wasn't really performing too well. They haven't announced the second date yet of when they will actually do it. But as you can see here, obviously it plummeted back down. Here they saw the price was going below IDO price, which was 5 cents. The IDO price was 5 cents. It was plummeting below that, and they tried to desperately do something about it. So what did they came up with? This sad little staking event here. Then what happened was everybody in the news, they were just annoyed by it. It was a big joke. People started fudding a lot in the chat. It was kind of funny if you were participating in the FUD, or at least if you were looking at it. So then they actually found out and they realized that that didn't really work out either. So what did they do? They decided to come up with 100%, 150% APR, which is good, right? Which is definitely a good thing. 150% APR on a 60-day stake. I think that's a good result. I think that's a good gain. That definitely are a lot of people wanting to do this, but they came up with it today. They saw that what they came up with first didn't really work out, so they came up with it today, and it did work. Like if you look at the 24-hour chart, it definitely did had an impact. They announced it this morning. If you can see here, they announced it at 3:20 a.m. my time, so that was somewhere around here, and there's been a bit of a rise after that. So it did have some effect. It was definitely way too late. They should have announced it before the actual vesting release. If they announced something like that, a lot of people wouldn't even have sold their tokens. They would have just instantly staked their tokens, which is what you want. So far, right now, there's a message somewhere that I've seen here. This one is of yesterday. So this was before the APR staking reward was announced, but they staked 20 million chick tokens so far in the first couple of hours, which is a good thing, I guess. Why is it a good thing for them? Because the price is now sitting at 6.6 cents. So at the time of announcing this, the 20 million tokens, the price was sitting at around 5 cents, which is like $1 million, I believe, in revenues. Correct what we're saying, 120? Yeah, so $1 million in tokens is being staked. It's locked, it's going out of circulation. What do these guys need to do? They have way too many tokens in circulating supply right now already, and then there's more tokens being released every single time. So the price is never going to go up. The market cap is not really going to do anything. They're sitting at a 15 million market cap already, where there's not even a game out there. And the Soulchicks token price is never going to go up if there's so many tokens in supply and more tokens being released every single day. So everybody holding their tokens, they're just kind of stuck with it. This is a positive. This is because of the APR staking, and it does take a lot of tokens out of supply for 60 days. But what's next? They need to come up with a system of how they're going to decrease the circulating supply and how they're going to increase the kind of the feeling around the project again, because everybody is very positive, very negative, sorry, about everything that the team is doing behind. They're just missing every single time that they can make a certain type of action to increase the value of the tokens. Again, they just flop and they just fully make a mistake. Same thing is happening with the NFTs, which we will get to in a second, but the floor price of these NFTs is dropping massively, and this is something where they can really easily play into and make a big move on with the new NFTs coming up. That's where they can really make a massive positive upward trend. All right, we'll get into the NFTs in a second. Next up, we have Chumbi Valley. All right, so Chumbi Valley is up as well. This has been going up massively. I thought it was sitting at 9.5%. All right, this is going up a lot more. So that being said, by the way, in the middle, before everybody is gonna tell me, oh, you're just investing in Chumbi Valley, oh man, you just don't like Soulchicks. I hold 10 NFTs of Soulchicks, which is worth 60 Solana right now, and I also hold 400,000 tokens of Soulchicks, right? Because I participated in the IDO. I also hold Chumbi Valley, so I hold both of them. I'm just giving you my honest opinion here of what I think, why these guys are missing and what they should be doing to fix it, and what these guys are doing well. But that being said, you see Chumbi Valley sitting at 11 cents right now, 11.5 cents. That's gone up massively. Yesterday night it was sitting at 9 cents, and it actually went up a lot more already, because 2 days ago it was only sitting at 6.5 cents. So it's done almost 100% gain after that. Why is that? What's been happening? It's because they've released a staking reward as well. And if we go to the Chumbi Valley announcement, they've done it completely different. Why? Is because they started announcing it before already. They hyped people up, and rather than just out of nowhere, out of the blue coming up with it, they've announced it multiple times over and over and over again. One of the things they come up with is the competitions. You can win one of the NFTs. I talk about this a little bit more in one of my previous videos. But the staking has been announced. There's been announcements like this coming up for over a week already. The fully explanation has been becoming clearer by the day, but it ended up being this setup: 3, 6, or 12 months of staking, each with their own APR. So one of them is very high. Obviously, the last one started a lot higher than the other ones, but the API actually started at 20,000%, which is insane. It's going down the more people end up staking in it, but the lowest they can ever go is 200% for the 12 months, 150% for the 6 months, and 100% for the 3 months, which is still very decent. So even if it drops back down towards that minimum, it's still a pretty good deal for people that believe in the project, like the project, and that are in it long term. If you're in it long term anyway, why wouldn't you stake it at a return, right? So what's been happening, you were able to stake it as of yesterday. People were staking in it quite a lot. So far, there's been 44 million Chumbi tokens staked in 24 hours. I think there's actually been an update already. Yeah, it is an update. This morning, 53 million tokens have been staked in the last 24 hours, which is roughly worth $6.5 million. So same thing for them. They've taken out $6.5 million, 53 million tokens out of circulating supply. What does that mean? That's simply just supply and demand. There's less tokens going on in circulation, so the demand of the tokens that are actually in circulation goes up, and therefore price goes up as well. Simple. So that's been very, very promising, of course, for these guys. Then we look at the results that you get from staking. So I did stake a couple of the tokens. I think we can just click on a link here. I staked a couple of tokens. Usually I'm not very into the longer term holds, but I thought for this time, you know what, I might just give it a go and kind of see how it goes, kind of see how it feels, see what happens. So I didn't want to stake too much because I don't like it to be locked for that long. I just want to see what the results are going to be. So I staked 25,000 tokens, which is like $2,500 at the time of staking. I took the middle one, 6 months. So here you can see it's been the 1 day already. It's just going down progressively. So if you step in now, you're only staking 89 days, etc. Right now, 90 days is 7,100% APY still. This one is sitting at 9.7,000%, and the last one, 7,800. So why is this one lower than this one? Is because more people have staked into this pool than into this pool. Why would somebody do that right now, even if this one is higher? Because they're probably assuming that over time more people will stake in this pool and less people will stake in this pool, so this API will end up being consistently overall over the longer period of time higher. But we took this one. So here you can see I transferred 25,000 or a little bit more tokens towards my MetaMask. I staked it. I staked these amount of tokens, and obviously it's been 1 day. So as you can see right now, we have earned ourselves already 9,000 tokens in 1 day, which is kind of insane if you think about it. Why? It's because that's 30% of the amount of tokens that I staked, I've earned in the staking rewards already. Then we look at the price, it's sitting at 11 cents. Where's the link? Here we go. So we've already earned ourselves close to $1,000 in 1 day by staking. That's insane. What does that do with a lot of people? Also with myself, considering staking more, right? When I staked, this was sitting at, I think it was 18,000%, so it did drop down a lot, but it's still very high, and the hype around it is slowing down a little bit, so people are staking a little bit less. I'm considering putting in like $10,000 just in this one, maybe even in this pool, just to see what's going to happen if I just leave it there for 3 to 6 months. I've never done something like it before, but I like how I've already earned myself $1,000 with only a $2,500 investment. You do have to believe that the token price is going up over time, of course, but another big difference with Chumbi Valley compared to the Soulchicks right now is that these guys have got a couple of events coming up that are positive and will create an upward trend for the project rather than a downward trend for the project, right? So they got their breeding coming up in 5 days, where you go the hatch coming up in 5 days, where you're gonna see what type of Chumbi you will have. The floor price of the NFTs has been rising consistently, and after that they will have the hatching event, which is going to be awesome because that means that the breeding event. So the hatching event in 5 days, breeding event coming up later on, where you have 2 Chumbis and you will get a new one out of it, of course, which is pretty awesome. They have the marketplace with different things coming up. So what does that mean here? They've announced their breeding event where you need 2 of them to be able to get a new one. Floor price goes up, people want to get an extra Chumbi, people want to get more NFTs because it's going to help them to create new Chumbis. And when you have two and eventually you breed one, you get a third one back for it, it only makes sense to either, if you only have one, to get a second one, if you have three, to get a fourth one, etc. So that is why floor price has been rising consistently. As for Soulchicks, this price has been dropping, and why is that? Makes total sense. We could have known already beforehand. The team should have known beforehand. Here, somewhere here, November the 2nd, probably somewhere even before that, I got in around here. I got mine for 3 Solana, right? So I bought 10 of them because you needed them, which was a good announcement. You needed 10 of them to get a $20,000 allocation in the IDO. So I bought 10 for 30 Solana. People noticed that was happening. People noticed you needed those Soulchicks NFTs to be able to get allocation. So people were starting to buy them a lot, and price went up and up and up and up and up. Why did the price go up that much? Because a $10,000 or a $20,000 or a $5,000 allocation, it depended on how many NFTs you hold, is insane. There's not a lot of projects that give that amount of allocation away. So eventually the price went up to 44.6 Solana for one NFT. That's for a common NFT, for the most basic one. Even though the price was, I got uncommons for 3 Solana, so the common ones were like 2.5. That went up to 44.6. That's insane. After that, obviously the price is plummeting right now. Why is the price plummeting? It is only sitting at 6 Solana right now, because they're releasing a new NFT mint with the third wave is what it's called, because they've already had 2 other releases, and they're gonna be costing 5 Solana. People will need to buy them for 5 Solana, but there's gonna be so many more NFTs going on in circulating supply as well with these NFTs, that of course there's not really that much value anymore in holding one of these NFTs. Also, because the whole project itself is on a downward trend, the belief is going away. One thing that they did, which was awesome, which was clever, is you needed to hold your NFTs that you bought at the start to participate in the IDO. So when people were buying in it here before the IDO came, they announced that you needed to hold those NFTs to get your vesting and get your release, to get your tokens back. Which makes sense, because it means that not everybody's just dropping their NFTs. Now we look at the price, and the price is just plummeting again, apart from yesterday then. People aren't really holding their NFTs anymore. I considered yesterday, I still have the 10 of them, I considered just getting rid of the 10 of them, and then I'll see whether I still get my vesting, yes or no. I don't really care if I do or not, because it's not worth that much more anyway, and I just want to use the money that's in the Soulchicks for other stuff. Now, if you look at the price, it's going up. They've got 150% APR for staking, etc. It becomes to make sense a little bit more again to hold it. So that was a good announcement, but that's the only one good thing that they've done in a very, very, very long time. So long story short, a massive, massive win, a massive, massive positive is getting people a staking reward that is insanely high, because people are happily staking it for a very long duration, a year. How many people want to lock in their tokens for a year? Not a whole lot, but there's been 53 million tokens staked as a whole, with people staking it for 350 to 65 days, 180 and 90 days. So people are really trusting to do this. People are very excited to do this. Floor price has been going up because of the breeding event as well. And here we can see that even though they announced it a little bit too late, people are excited about 150% APR staking. So definitely a good takeaway from that is staking with high APR is much appreciated, and something that a lot of other projects should be doing as well. So that's my take on these two right now. One of them is having a win after win after win after win, and the other guys have kind of corrected themselves with the APR staking. But other than that, people have been really questioning the direction of Soulchicks itself. That's all the updates we have for now. Please let me know what you think of these projects yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video.